Hey guys, it's Tori and I'm here right now with Sleep On It. How's it going, y'all?
It's going. It's a rainy day here in Florida.
Damp. It's a little damp.
I know.
Moist.
They asked me to film this interview outside and I was like, literally the worst place we could go, but that's fine.
Sleep on it way.
We're just
The worst way we could do it.
They're new to Florida. They're gonna learn real quick. How are you guys doing? You're on this tour with Don Broco, which is so cool. They're such a fun band. So how does it feel to like be on this lineup with them?
It's awesome. It's kind of like a flashback to Warped Tour last summer because we were joking the other day. Once Trash Boat jumped on, it was like the Owly FM tour part 2 or something.
Yeah.
So we're having a blast. I mean,
well, technically part 3.
Part 3, right? Yeah. Because we had the Broadside and With Tour before that, so it's like the part 3. So it's all the LEF bands are touring together. It's really fun.
It's funny because people thought Warped Tour was ending, but like you can never kill the scene.
No.
It's still here. The scene will never die. We find a way. So to start things off, we have some finished sentence questions. So the first one here is the best thing about touring with Don Broco is. I feel like it just started, right? The tour's still kind of fresh, but so far.
I'd say the live show, their live show for sure is insane. They're so good live, from the lights to sound and production, everything, every night it's kind of like something to aspire to, for sure.
Yeah.
Just looking at how hot they are every day.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things.
I like listening to Simon riff a lot.
All right.
Yeah.
Diverse answers.
Rob's wardrobe, that guy can wear literally anything and make it look good. That's like, I know that's like 4 things about Don Broco that we love, but
clearly we admire them.
You can never have enough reasons, right?
Rob is probably the only person I know that can pull off a bucket hat.
Yeah.
a baby
He
blue,
really does.
A baby blue
fuzzy
bucket
bucket
hat.
and looks good.
Yeah, I can confirm. It looked
Rob.
great. Yeah. I remember there was a point on Warped Tour where we didn't know who he was, but we kept seeing him walking around, and a lot of people would be like, "Oh, the guy that looks like a mannequin, like a literal sculpted out of stone man." Yeah.
It's amazing.
A Greek
actually.
sculpture of a man.
Now he has to watch this interview for all the flattery, all the ego boosts he'd ever
Oh, we
need.
do it in person.
Yeah.
It happens.
Perfect.
No,
Yeah.
we like to build them up.
Absolutely. And so now the most played song in your music library right now is. I'm sure each of you have a different one, so hit me.
Something by the band Camino, probably See Through.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll get back to him.
I honestly really Fearless Records just signed this new band called Locket that used to be Safe to Say. I really like the new Locket songs a lot.
Weird.
Because I also listen to the band Camino a ton, but I wanted a different answer.
Right, you gotta switch it up a little bit.
Mine is also probably the band Camino. Yeah, Hush Hush probably.
This doesn't really surprise me considering you guys spend so much time together, and I'm sure like in the band and stuff you end up listening to the same music a lot.
I actually
you
really
know?
like the new Sleeping with Sirens record too.
Oh,
Yeah.
switch it up.
Enjoyed it much more than some of the other stuff they put out recently. It's really, really good. Gym workout.
Yes,
Yeah.
big time.
Yeah.
And I know you guys are internet users, so your favorite meme is?
Right now it's the SpongeBob I'm a head out meme.
Yep. Any SpongeBob meme is usually pretty
SpongeBob
solid.
memes are quality.
Yeah.
Yeah, they never let me down.
The girl explaining things to her mom or boyfriend meme. I love that meme. Know what I'm talking
My
about?
favorite one is the kombucha girl.
Oh, kombucha girl. Yes.
Well, no. Well, maybe. Okay.
That one is pretty good.
That one
Did you see that
cracks me up. It
someone
cracks me
ran into her in person and she
did
reenacted it?
like,
Yeah.
perfectly, like in like exact mannerism. It's very funny.
Pretty
I think
incredible.
all of those crack me right up. So that was favorite meme.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about your music here now that we talked about your favorites. Pride and Disaster is the most recent album that just came out a few days ago. Yeah, like it's fresh.
Fresh.
And so out of all the pop punk bands that are releasing albums this year, why should people really turn ahead to yours?
Hello.
For some reason, they think you're answering the question.
Ted's just the most eloquent
He's
out of
very
all of us.
articulate. All right. He's pretty. He's articulate. It's just we just defer to
Whole
him.
My answer's
package
'cause
right there.
It sounds good.
Which is a valid answer.
Yeah, you're setting the bar way too high for me to answer now, but I think that with Pride and Disaster, we try not to overthink the record and the songs and the music we were making. It's unapologetically Sleep On It. It's us in our purest form. It's just a record we would want to hear as fans of early 2000s pop punk and like pop punk now mixed in with some other genre influences. Yeah, I don't think we didn't try to reinvent the wheel with it. I think we just really focused on our strong suits and try to do that really well.
Yeah. And this kind of leads me into my next question very nicely, so thank you for that. But I feel like when I listened to this album, it was just like an instant time warp to the music I used to listen to growing up, like in high school and stuff. Like I listened to it, I was like, wow, I haven't heard music like this in a long time. But at the same time, it is modern. So how did you kind of strike that balance between making sure it kind of had that nostalgic vibe while also making it new and different from everything else?
At least like from my perspective, it was really easy just because like for us, like there's certain things we write where we're like, this sounds way too much like Fall Out Boy, or this sounds too much like The Starting Line. But like for us, basically, like it's kind of like Ted said, like if we want to listen to it, that kind of almost lends itself to being somewhat nostalgic, because we do listen to a lot of current music and but the current music we listen to is more pop based. So like when we do kind of pull from that like pop punk catalog, it's immediately getting pulled from Yellow Card or Mayday Parade or Fall Out Boy or The Dangerous Summer, like kind of just the stuff we used to listen to from 2007 to 2010. So it's just very easy for us to just write that nostalgic sound, but put our own modern pop or pop country or whatever kind of spin we throw in there. That's just kind of the natural progression that we've really simply made for ourselves.
Right.
I was going to say something relatively similar. It's kind of a byproduct of our influences, but I think what we really were missing from like maybe our last record, not necessarily, but we wanted to write choruses that really like hit. Like really, really strong anthemic choruses was how we narrowed down all the songs. Because Ted wrote like 35, 40 songs or like ideas for the record, and we narrowed it down. Yeah, he wrote a lot of songs. So we tried to narrow it down to these songs that we thought would best represent these like sort of anthemic choruses that we like aspire to write necessarily, not even the ones that we succeeded or not.
Aspire, you succeeded. Yes, you succeeded.
I hope so.
That's not really
did
for us
it.
to
It's
say,
not for us
but
to
thank
decide,
you.
but yeah.
I can say it. Yeah. And the thing is too, pop punk is a genre that's pretty notorious for having like those really sad but relatable lyrics. And I know something that I read in another interview was that you guys wanted to also make sure that there was a bit of hope at the end of the tunnel, if you will, while writing those kinds of lyrics. And I know everyone has a different reason for writing relatable, sad lyrics, if you will. So what was the motivation for you guys as far as taking that route lyrically?
So seeing as I write most of the lyrics, my thing was like, Overexposed was a really sad record. Like when you really boil it down, there's a lot of darkness and sadness on that record, and I really wanted to showcase that life is more than that. And it's really easy to kind of fall into that and just pull from that experience the darkness, because it's especially for me, it's so much of my life. But with this record moving forward, and this record is really, when you boil it down, it's about growth and about becoming an adult and kind of all the things that meant for me and for us as a band. And for me, that really meant like the good days that came with the bad, and focusing more on that than just being like, yeah, I'm sad all the time, which is, it's true, but like I wanted to show, I mean, I've said it so many times, like there's good days that come with the bad, and that's just as important, you know. So that was kind of where I pulled that from. So
yeah, just a little bit of everything. That's the balance of life, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so I know there's probably some people watching who haven't heard your music yet that might be watching this interview. So for those people, which song should they check out as that first impression they think best encompasses the band on this album?
On this album,
I would say probably After Tonight was the last single that we put out before the album came out. It's a song that I think captures the pop element that we like while still being a rock-driven song.
Yeah.
I also personally love Take Me Back, which is a bit on the more aggressive side of the album, but that was a song that came together really quickly and organically, and I still feel really strongly about that song, and I just love every element of that.
Yeah.
So After Tonight, a little bit more on the poppier side, Take Me Back, a little more on the aggressive side. I think that's a balance that sort of encompasses what Sleep On It is all about.
Yeah, so now they have two options. There's no excuse to not listen to it. Thank you. And what are the plans for after this tour? What else is coming up for you guys for the rest of like 2019 and moving forward?
I mean, there's a couple shows coming up towards the end of the year.
Well, it's probably going to be sold out by the time this interview comes out.
Maybe.
We're playing with Mayday Parade.
Well, that's already been announced.
Anywhere But
Mayday.
Here show.
That's
At 10.
huge.
Yeah, very excited. In
That's
Chicago
gonna
at
be
the
really
Metro.
cool. And then we're planning something special for the hometown towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
Good.
And then next year is kind of just starting to
Form up.
form and kind of be talked about. So,
But
Yeah,
we'll
you
be-
still have a ways to go.
We'll be
Yeah.
touring on Pride and Disaster.
but
I'm
yeah,
sure.
this is the last thing nationally for the year. But there's a couple things that are coming down the pipe, and hopefully they come to form sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
So
We're pushing to get overseas next year too.
Yeah.
UK, Europe. We'd love to hit Asia. So that's all, like, hopefully in the works. Pushing for it.
Yeah,
Just-
tentatively.
Yeah.
grinding. A lot more grinding in the future.
But in the meantime, this tour did just start, so everyone can go find all the dates and everything and come out to see Don Broco and sleep on it. So I think that's a good place to start. And thank you guys so much for hanging out. I appreciate you taking the time. Yeah. And everybody watching, make sure you subscribe for more videos. Check out Sleep On It if you haven't already. Don't sleep on it. And we'll see you later. Bye. Gotta go. Got class.